Hello students, this is Ejaz Sir's Maths Academy and I am Ansar Sir, and you remember that we are studying science chapter number 2, acids, bases and salts. In that chapter we completed activity 2.1 and we have studied activity 2.2 also. Today we have to study activity 2.3 and the heading is how do acids and bases react with metals. What is our heading? How do acids and bases react with metals. How do acids and bases react with metals? So, do acids react with metals? Yes. Do bases react with metals? No. Except zinc and aluminium. No base ever reacts with acid. Bases cannot react with, bases cannot react with metals. Bases do not react with metals except two metals, aluminium and zinc. Aluminium and zinc react with metals. Otherwise, no other metals can react with, no other metals can react with bases. Don't get confused, I will explain. See, first let us see how do acids react with metals. Reaction of acids with metals. So how do acids react with metals? Before we study chemical reactions, you should note down these points. See, sodium ion is always one positive. Sodium ion is always in chemistry. Sodium ion is always one positive, and you know the reason. Sodium has atomic number 11 and its electronic configuration is 281. First orbit has 2 electrons, second orbit has 8 electrons, and the third orbit has 1 electron in sodium. Sodium wants to complete its octet. You know what octet rule is. Every atom except hydrogen and helium, every atom tries to have 8 electrons in its outermost orbit. So sodium also wants to have 8 electrons in its outermost orbit. The atomic number, see, I am writing here in one corner. Sodium has atomic number 11, means there are total number of electrons 11 in sodium, and the configuration is 281. The first orbit has 2 electrons, second orbit has 8 electrons, and the third orbit has 1 electron. As per the octet rule, there is a rule in chemistry called octet rule, OCTET, octet. Octet rule, octa is 8, octopus has 8 legs. So octa means 8. Every atom except hydrogen and helium, every atom tries to have 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. So sodium also wants to have 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. So, but it has only 1 electron. How many electrons does it need? So it needs 7 more electrons. But remember, in chemistry, one atom can give maximum 3 electrons to any other atom. One atom can give 1 electron, 2 electron, or maximum 3 electrons. More than 3 electrons can never be given. More than 3 electrons can never be taken. One atom cannot give 3 electrons to another atom, and another atom cannot take more than 3 electrons. One atom cannot give more than 3 electrons. Another atom cannot take more than 3 electrons. At the most, 3 electrons can be given and 3 electrons can be taken. But this needs 7 electrons. So no atom will give 7 electrons to sodium atom. So what will it do? It will donate this 1 electron. It will give its 1 electron to any other atom. And what will happen? If this electron is gone, then the outermost orbit will be this orbit. If I draw the orbits, this is the first orbit, there are 2 electrons. The second orbit has 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the third orbit has 1 electron. Sodium wants to have 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, but there is only 7 more electrons are needed, and no atom can give 7 electrons and sodium cannot take 7 electrons. So that's why this will donate 1 electron. Sodium will give away its 1 electron. Why? Because if it gives 1 electron, there will be no electron in the orbit, and the orbit will disappear, because since there is no electron, what is the use of the orbit? Now this orbit will be called the outermost orbit now, and this has 8 electrons in its outermost orbit. So sodium has become stable, its life has become successful. Every atom tries to have 8 electrons either by accepting 1, 2 or 3 electrons or by giving 1 or 2 or 3 electrons. So since sodium has given, how many electrons were present in sodium? 11 electrons. And in the nucleus, how many protons were present? 11 protons. So 11 electrons and 11 protons were present in the nucleus. So it was balanced. The charges were balanced. It was a neutral atom. But now since sodium has donated 1 electron, so there are only 10 electrons in sodium atom. In the first orbit there are 2 electrons. In the second orbit there are 8 electrons. So sodium has only 10 electrons and protons are 11 because protons are never donated. So protons are 11. So it has one positive charge extra. That's why we write Na1 positive. This is the reason that I have written Na1 positive. Sodium has valency 1. It donates 1 electron. Since it gives 1 electron, it has 1 positive charge. Potassium gives 1 electron, it has 1 positive charge. Silver atom gives 1 electron, that's why it has 1 positive charge. Hydrogen donates 1 electron, it has 1 positive charge. Magnesium gives 2 electrons, that's why it has 2 positive charge. So zinc gives 2 electrons from its outermost orbit, that's why it has 2 positive charges. Calcium gives 2 electrons, that's why it has 2 positive charges. So this is the reason why they have positive charges. So these are all called positive ions or cations. These are positive ions, and you know positive ions are also called as cations. And here we have negative ions. How are negative ions are formed? Negative ions are formed by accepting electron. Chlorine accepts 1 electron. Atomic number of chlorine is 17. Its electronic configuration is 287. In the first orbit of chlorine atom, there are 2 electrons. In the second orbit, there are 8 electrons. In the outermost orbit, there are 7 electrons. It wants to complete its octet, and that's why it will accept 1 electron. So since it will accept 1 electron, 1 negative charge will be extra with it. It will accept 1 electron means it will accept 1 negative charge. That's why we write Cl negative. Similar is the case with bromine also, iodine. Oxygen accepts 2 electrons because atomic number of oxygen is 8. First orbit has 2 electrons and second orbit has 6 electrons. To complete the octet, oxygen needs 2 electrons. That's why it takes 2 electrons, and since it takes 2 electrons, it means it takes 2 negative charges, and that's why oxygen has 2 negative charges. This is carbonate, 2 negative charges, sulfide, 2 negative charges, this is sulfate, 2 negative charges, this is hydroxyl, OH negative. Since see, O is 2 negative and H is 1 positive. See here, H is 1 positive and O is 2 negative. So 2 negative and 1 positive, 1 negative, 1 positive will be cancelled and 1 negative will be left behind. That's why we write OH 1 negative. Okay. Now see, you have to remember this. So, then your chemical reactions will become very easy for you. In chapter number 1, chemical reactions and equations, they also will become very easy for you, and in the reactions in this chapter also will become easy for you. Let us study now activity 2.3. See what the activity says. We have to take a stand, and with the help of a stand we have to keep a test tube like this, and in the test tube we will take zinc granules. Granules are small grains, just as the grains of wheat and rice. जैसे दाल और चावल के दाने होते हैं छोटे छोटे, वैसे हमको सोडियम के grains लेना. We have to take small grains of sodium and we have to add dilute H2SO4, dilute sulfuric acid to the test tube. Dilute means which has water added. We have decreased its reactivity by adding water to it. So dilute means water is added. So zinc granules will react with dilute sulfuric acid, and in this reaction hydrogen gas will be produced. See the reaction. These are the zinc granules. Zn is the symbol of zinc. Zinc granules will react with sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid, its formula is H2SO4. Sulfuric acid is called the king of chemicals because it is used more than any other chemicals in the laboratory. So Zn plus H2SO4. Now we will split H2SO4 like this. H2 will be H plus and H plus, and SO4 will become 2 minus, and here Zn will become 2 plus. We know, see, Zn is always 2 positive, and SO4 is always 2 negative. That's why उनकी रब ने जोड़ी बनाई थी. SO4 is double negative and HH is positive positive. अब क्या होगा? What will happen? Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen gas. Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen gas. Zinc will displace. This is a displacement reaction that you have studied in chapter number 1. I am yet to teach that chapter, but since you have already studied there, you know it. Zinc is more reactive than hydrogen. So zinc will displace hydrogen and zinc will come here. Zinc is already 2 positive and SO4 sulfate is 2 negative. So it will become ZnSO4. This reaction takes place in the batteries of our cars and two-wheelers. कार की और टू व्हीलर की जो बैटरी होती है अपनी कार की बैटरी, उसमें जिंक के इलेक्ट्रोड्स होते हैं, एनोड्स बने होते हैं एंड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड होता है. ये दोनों का रिएक्शन होता है एंड इट गिव्स राइज टू ZnSO4. ZnSO4 व्हाइट कलर का चूने जैसा सॉल्ट दिखता है. इट इज सॉल्ट. ZnSO4, रिमेंबर, व्हाटएवर नेम एंड्स इन आइड और एट इज जनरली अ सॉल्ट. is generally a salt. जो भी नाम आइड या एट में खत्म होता है वो जनरली सॉल्ट होता है. और इसका नाम क्या है? तो इट्स नेम इज जिंक सल्फेट. इट्स नेम इज जिंक सल्फेट. सो इट इज सल्फेट 8 मतलब सॉल्ट. तो दिस इज सॉल्ट एंड हियर this hydrogen will be left behind, so this will become hydrogen gas, and this upward arrow shows that hydrogen gas will be liberated. हाइड्रोजन गैस बनके उड़ जाएंगे. सो दिस इज द केमिकल रिएक्शन. अब उसमें कौन सी गैस लिबरेट हुई? हाइड्रोजन गैस. सो दिस हाइड्रोजन गैस विल गो इनटू दिस डिलीवरी ट्यूब. डिलीवरी ट्यूब because it delivers hydrogen gas from one place to another place. So hydrogen gas will pass through this delivery tube. It cannot come out because the rubber cork is very tight. The rubber cork has a hole and through that hole this delivery tube is passing. So hydrogen gas will pass through this delivery tube and it will come here into the soap solution. We have kept here soap solution, and you know whenever we blow air into soap solution they form soap suds, soap bubbles. Similarly here there will be soap bubbles and these soap bubbles will be filled with hydrogen gas. And we have already discussed hydrogen gas is an explosive gas, है ना. Instead of filling up LPG in our cylinders, LPG, if you use LPG for 1 month, if one cylinder gives you LPG for 1 month, and if you do not fill LPG in the cylinder, instead of LPG if you fill hydrogen gas, that same cylinder will be useful to you for the next 5 months, nearly 5 months, because hydrogen gives nearly 5 times more heat as compared to LPG. Hydrogen gives 5 times more heat as compared to LPG. So why don't we use hydrogen gas? Why do we use LPG? The reason is LPG burns slowly and gives heat, but hydrogen is an explosive gas. If we use it in our household, then our house would be blown and we would die of explosion. That's why we do not use hydrogen gas in our homes. See, this is hydrogen gas, and here since the hydrogen gas will be blown through soap solution, they will form soap bubbles, and these soap bubbles will be filled with hydrogen gas. And if you put a burning candle to the soap bubble, the hydrogen gas will burn and the soap bubble will burst with a pop sound. Pop sound. So hydrogen will burn with a pop sound. Understood? So why are these soap bubbles blown? Because they contain hydrogen gas, and when we put a burning candle to them, hydrogen gas burns with explosion and it produces pop-up sound. What does this reaction, this activity tell us? This tells us whenever a metal reacts with dilute acid, it produces salt and hydrogen gas. We can write the conclusion: metal plus acid. Metal plus acid gives salt and hydrogen gas. See another reaction where metal will react with dilute acid. This metal is sodium metal, and we know sodium is 1 positive. You know sodium is 1 positive. So we will write Na 1 positive. Na is 1 positive. Na is 1 positive and H2SO4 will be H plus and SO4 will be 2 negative. we know else NO, sorry, we know this reaction, we can see, we can write here. Na is 1 positive, H is plus, and SO4 is 2 negative, because we have written the rules there, valencies. So SO4 is sulfate and this is sodium. One positive cannot balance two negatives. That's why we will have to take two atoms of sodium. So it will be Na positive will be 2 positive, and this is 2 negative. So they will pair up. And we write positive first. It will be Na2 and SO4. Otherwise you will say, sir, it is ZnSO4 and this, why not this NaSO4? Why Na2SO4? Because SO4 is 2 negative and Na is only 1 positive. So these two negatives can be cancelled by two positives. That's why we are taking two Na ions to balance it. So this is how the reaction is balanced. And the name of this chemical will be sodium sulfate. The upper one was zinc sulfate. This is sodium sulfate and hydrogen gas will be liberated. And since its name ends in 8, it is salt. And this is hydrogen gas. So what does this tell us? Whenever a metal reacts with an acid, sodium is a metal, this is dilute sulfuric acid. So metal plus dilute acid gives metal salt, sodium sulfate and hydrogen gas. We can do the same reaction using potassium. I will already write the balanced reaction. See, this is 2K potassium, just like potassium also is 1 positive. See here, potassium also is 1 positive. And to neutralize, to balance acid SO4 to negative, we need 2K, 2 positive ions. That's why we will write 2K plus H2SO4 will give us, potassium is more reactive than hydrogen. So potassium will displace hydrogen and instead of hydrogen gas H2, K2 will come there. And it will be like this, K2SO4 plus H2 gas, hydrogen gas. Okay, this is hydrogen gas. So its name will be potassium sulfate. It is potassium sulfate. Can you see things clearly? So it is potassium sulfate. I am erasing it. Okay, this is potassium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. You can pause the video and note down the reactions if you want to. And have you understood this activity? Zinc granules reacting with dilute sulfuric acid. So this is the reaction, zinc plus dilute H2SO4. We should write DIL here, dilute. Zn plus H2SO4, dilute H2SO4. Zinc is more reactive, it will displace H2 from there. Zinc is already 2 positive and SO4 is 2 negative. 2 positive and 2 negative will join each other. Positive is written first, Zn and SO4, and hydrogen gas would be liberated. The upward arrow shows that the gas is liberated into the atmosphere. Here the gas is liberated into the soap solution and soap bubbles will be formed. These soap bubbles will be filled with hydrogen gas. If you put a matchstick to it or burning candle to it, the hydrogen gas will burst with a pop-up sound. Okay, I am going to erase it. I hope you understood this activity. No, I should not erase it. We will use it for another purpose. So I hope you understood this activity. Now see. So what happens? What is our conclusion? Metal plus acid. Metal plus acid gives metal salt. Why are we writing metal salt? Because this is zinc salt, zinc sulfate. This is sodium salt, sodium sulfate. Zinc sulfate, sodium sulfate, potassium sulfate, magnesium sulfate. That's why we are writing metal salt plus hydrogen gas. So this happens with dilute acid. So whenever a metal reacts with dilute acid, it forms metal salt plus hydrogen gas. Metal salt plus hydrogen gas. See, here we have used sulfuric acid. Instead of sulfuric acid, if we use hydrochloric acid, the same hydrochloric acid which is present in our stomach, we have studied in life processes chapter number 6. if we use that same hydrochloric acid, or if we take hydrochloric acid from the laboratory and if we react zinc granules with hydrochloric acid, and why are we taking zinc granules? Because zinc is not highly reactive. If we take smaller particles, they react faster. Instead of zinc granules, if we take zinc powder, it will react even faster. Have you ever seen zinc? You might have seen zinc in on the curved surface area of those dry cells, Eveready, Nippon, Duracell. Such cells have a curved surface area, curved cylinder made up of zinc. If you break open a dry cell, Eveready, Nippon, Duracell, or a 9-volt battery, the side cover is made up of zinc. Zinc is a silver colored metal. It has shine. It looks like steel. Zinc looks like steel. So zinc plus HCl gives ZnCl2. See how we can do the reaction here. This is zinc and we know zinc is 2 positive, Zn2 positive. Here we have written in the list, Zn is always 2 positive, it donates 2 electrons, and HCl will be H positive and Cl negative. Zinc cannot combine with H because positive repel each other. Zinc can combine with Cl, but zinc is 2 positive and Cl is 1 negative. So they must balance each other. Their valencies must balance them each other. So here we will write 2 HCl. So since we have written 2 HCl, it means 2 is common. In mathematics, if we write 2 into x plus y, what does it mean? 2x plus 2y. This 2 multiplies both the terms. Similarly, 2 HCl means H is also 2 and Cl also is 2. So this is here 2H and here 2Cl. Now this Zn2 positive can now combine with Cl negative, and that's why we can write ZnCl2. See, this is Zn and Cl2. ZnCl2 plus H and H will combine to form hydrogen gas. So here also the same reaction has taken place. Zn was metal plus HCl was acid and we took dilute acid. Metal plus dilute acid gives zinc chloride. Zinc chloride, the name is ending in ide. This is zinc chloride, and I have told you whatever name ends in ATE8 or IDE is generally a salt. So here we get metal salt. Which salt? Zn chloride, zinc chloride. Remember, NaCl, sodium chloride is a common salt. Why common salt? Because it is present in almost every house, every home. That's why it is a common salt. But zinc chloride is not present in every home. Understood? That's why it is an uncommon salt. This is uncommon salt, but it is a salt. Otherwise, you will think salt means NaCl only. No, there are many salts. NaCl is a common salt. This is an uncommon salt, not found in every household. So zinc chloride is a metal salt plus hydrogen gas. Here we can write hydrogen gas. So what is our conclusion? Whenever a metal reacts with an acid, it forms metal salt, zinc sulfate, zinc chloride, and hydrogen gas is liberated. We can do another reaction. We can solve another reaction. What happens when sodium reacts with hydrochloric acid? So we know sodium is 1 positive and H will be 1 positive and Cl also will be 1 negative. Now how to balance this reaction? So the thing is, Na positive, 1 positive and Cl 1 negative can join to each other. But what will happen of H positive? H positive hydrogen is already a very reactive element. So it must be balanced. That's why here we will write 2 and here also we will write 2. So this will become 2Na positive. HCl also will become double. So this will be NaCl, NaCl. So 2 times NaCl plus H and H will combine to form H2 gas. This is how the reaction will take place. 2Na plus 2HCl will give 2NaCl plus H2. We cannot write Na and Cl, NaCl and H plus. H plus does not remain as it is for a long period of time. H positive is highly reactive. Why? Because hydrogen has only one electron in its orbit. And when does H positive become? When it loses one electron, it becomes H positive. So H positive has lost everything. And we know if a person has lost everything from his life, from her life, how dangerous that person can become. Just joking. But remember, this H positive means proton. H positive means only proton because electron is donated. So H positive proton is highly reactive, it cannot exist singly. That's why it must have another H to form H2. Okay, so here also this reaction is metal plus dilute acid gives metal salt, common salt plus hydrogen gas. I hope you understood the first thing. What happens when a metal reacts with acid? So this was the reaction of acids with metals. Understood? So acids can react only with metals. Acids do not react with non-metals. Acids do not react with non-metals. And one more thing. See in our textbook it is given. No, they have not given. So acids react with metals only. Acids do not react with non-metals. There is a reason behind it. I will explain the reason later on. And what about bases? Bases do not react with metals. Generally, I am writing it here. Generally means mostly, or except, I will write except. So acids do not react with non-metals, and bases do not react with metals except Zn and aluminium. This is a note. You have to note this point. Acids do not react with non-metals and bases do not react with metals except Zn and Al. There is a reason behind it. There is a short story behind it. I will tell you the story a little later on. Maybe in the next lecture I will tell you why metals do not react with bases. You know what bases are. Those compounds which contain OH negative ions. What is the definition of a base? A substance we will study in this chapter. Those substances which release OH negative ions in water are called bases. Those substances, here we are writing bases, but what are bases? Those substances which release OH negative ions in water are called bases, and those substances which release I should make letters bigger. Those substances which release H positive ions in water are called acids. Example, HCl. Example is HCl, H2SO4, etc. And those substances which release OH negative ions in water, bigger. OH negative ions. OH those substances which release OH negative ions in water are called bases. Are called bases. A base is a substance which releases OH negative ion in water, and a substance which releases H positive ions in water is called an acid. So acids do not react with non-metals. Acids do not react with non-metals, and bases do not react with metals except zinc and aluminium. So what is our heading? How do acids and bases react with metals? But we know bases do not react with metals. Only two bases react with bases react only with two metals, and there is a reason behind it. I will explain that reason in the next lecture. See the reaction, activity 2.3. What does this activity say? I will read out to you this activity. The activity says, place a few pieces of granulated zinc metal in a test tube. We have to take zinc metal in a test tube. Add 2 milliliter of sodium hydroxide solution. So we have taken zinc granules and we are passing 2 milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide is a base. Why? Because it has OH. Whatever substance, whatever inorganic compound contains OH is called a base. So CaOH, what are bases? NaOH is a base, KOH is a base, MgOH2, magnesium hydroxide is a base. And why MgOH2? Mg is 2 positive. See there in the list I have given. Mg is 2 positive and OH is 1 negative. See here, where is the list? Mg, this Mg. Magnesium is 2 positive and OH is 1 negative. So 2 positive must be balanced by 2 negatives. That's why we are writing MgOH twice. That's why we are taking OH2. So this is MgOH twice, magnesium hydroxide, which is also called milk of magnesia, which is used to cure acidity. So magnesium hydroxide is a base, and aluminium hydroxide AlOH thrice, AlOH thrice is also a base. Aluminium hydroxide also is a base. And why 3? Because see, aluminium is 3 positive here at the last. Aluminium is 3 positive, and how many negatives does it require? 3. That's why it is AlOH twice. So whatever compound contains OH is called a base. So this is a base. NaOH is a base, and here zinc is a metal. Zinc is a metal. Except zinc and aluminium, metals do not react with base. Only these metals react with base. So that's why they have shown only one reaction. NaOH reacts with zinc to form sodium zincate salt, Na2ZnO2. It's a very odd reaction. Na2ZnO2. Its name is sodium zincate salt and hydrogen gas. Okay, this is unusual reaction. Unusual reaction. So NaOH plus Zn gives Na2ZnO2 plus H2. This question has been asked in the board exam. They say what happens when sodium hydroxide reacts with zinc metal. So we have to write the chemical reaction. For writing correct chemical reaction we get 1 mark, and for explaining the reaction, for writing their names, we get 1 mark. In this way this reaction may be asked for 2 marks in the board exam. So what is our conclusion? Metals, acids do not react with non-metals, and bases do not react with metals except 2 metals. Zinc and aluminium react with bases. I will explain maybe in the next lecture that metallic oxides are basic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. That's why metals do not react with bases, because base do not react. Acid and acid does not react. One acid does not react with another acid, and one base does not react with another base. Probably you might have been taught this in chapter number 1 in school. So I can write down. I am not explaining at present. but you can remember it. Let me see the time. Should I explain it now or not? No, it's already 34 minutes. So, metal oxides are basic in nature. Hence they do not react with bases, because a base does not react with a base, and its opposite. Where is the red pen? Yes. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. I will explain why. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Shall I explain it first? No, I will explain in next lecture. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. Hence, non-metallic oxides, hence non-metals do not react with acids. Because an acid does not react with another acid. This is the reason. And what are basic oxides and what are acidic oxides will be explained in the next lecture. We stop here. I hope you understood everything. If you find anything difficult, do ask me a question on WhatsApp and I will reply to your question. Have a nice day.